Hey everyone, I have the wonderful privilege of interviewing my friend Helen Costa Giles, and I met Helen before she was our Isabody finalist, our winner of the whole competition. Let's see, you were a finalist when I met you in Atlanta, no, Dallas, wasn't it? Dallas, I met you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you met me when I was an honorable mention, even before I was a finalist.
Yeah, I knew her way back when
Yeah,
and
yeah.
fell in love with her. I heard her story, like one of the early times she got to share it with people, and she had us all in tears, and it was just so beautiful. And I've watched her journey. So this is such an honor for me to be able to interview you. So thank you for saying yes. And I know you're squeezing this in during a hectic work day. So I appreciate you, and my team appreciates you. And I want to just get started. Would you share how you found Isogenics? Share your story with those that have never heard it before.
Oh, wow. Thank you, Cindy. And I'm so glad to be here. As soon as you asked me, I was like, I knew I just wanted to do this with you because I loved you since the day we met, and we keep bumping into each other in Dallas, and hopefully we'll connect again. Wow, my story goes really, really way far back, but just because I spent like a decade of being a yo-yo dieter, right? I was that person, but I was that fit, healthy athlete in high school, right? And, and then after high school, things crept into my life where I started to hang out with the cool kids, and things just kind of disappeared for me. Like, the fitness stopped, the sport stopped. If you can't join them, I ended up being a coach instead of playing because I couldn't play anymore. So I figured it was just easier for me to coach. And, but I lost myself, right? I just started to become a Helen that I didn't really like. And I just started to grow bigger and bigger because my food level stayed up here, but my fitness level went down here. So for those of you who understand, it's always like, oh man, I was an athlete in high school, right? We all have that story, but we don't change the perception of the lifestyle. So anyways, I met my husband, my amazing husband, many, many moons ago. And I was kind of like still a little bit, let's say fluffy. We're going to use a fluffy word. I was still a little fluffy when I met him. And then we fell in love around food, right? You meet somebody you love. You're like, let's go on a date. Let's eat nachos while we watch Napoleon Dynamite like 3 times a night. We ordered pizza, and you just that's what you do. Like when you go on dates, and it just became like this, where are we going to go to eat? What are we going to do? And so then that lifestyle started to creep in for me. And, even like a week before we went to get married, I had a really bad relationship with food. So where everyone gets married, they like go on this crazy diet, and I reversed. I just went to stress and I blew up. And then my dress had to get let out. And it was like the most stressful thing in the world, trying to find a material for your dress that matches so it doesn't look like it got touched. So I had a lot of moments like that in my life. And the most recent moment was, 4 years ago. I'm a mom of 2 boys. I work full time. And 4 years ago, my company makes us do annual checkups at the doctors in order to have our medical benefits. And so 4 years ago, I did my normal annual checkup in the beginning of the year. And every year the doctor just says, you're obese, Helen, here's 1,000 calories, here's some pills, go on a diet. And, thus the yo-yoing that I did. And in 2014, I walked in, did that same appointment, and then I got a call back, and that never happened right before. So I'm like, oh man. So I got a call back, and the doctor basically said, he had this piece of paper in front of him, and he just told me, he's like, Helen, you were headed down a road of chronic health issues. And he started to explain what they were, and I'm like, oh yeah, get it. My whole family is hereditary. My mom, my dad, everybody. And he looked at me, and I swear it was like he kicked me in the stomach as hard as he could. He's like, honey, these are not hereditary issues. The only thing you inherited was bad eating habits. It's like, fix your food. And I was like, oh my God, he's right. And I got so emotional because all I could think about was my 2 boys at home.
Yeah.
What lifestyle were they inheriting from me? So I got mad. I was sad. I had every emotion rushing through my body, thinking about my lifestyle, my family, and where my family was in their life. And I was like, I don't want that. I don't want that for my boys. Like, I know what it was like to live in that, sick health environment. So anyways, I came home, I took that piece of paper and I like slammed it. Like, I'm not kidding, slammed it on the island to my husband. I'm like, we are done. We're done yo-yo dieting. We're done these quick fixes. You name it, we did it, right? And I'm like, we're going to do this the clean way. I'm like, I don't know what that means yet, but that's what we're going to do. So I did. That weekend, I cleaned out I called it the pantry purge. Got everything in my fridge, pantry, got rid of all the artificial junk, anything that did not serve my body, we got rid of. And for 30 days, we did this clean eating thing. And I lost a few pounds, but I was still tired. I was still coming home, sitting on the couch with my boys, and like, what movie do you want to watch? I was so big at the time, I couldn't play on the floor with them. So it was just like, let's sit and watch movies, guys, because that's all mommy can do. So I had one on one arm, one on the other, and we watched Cars for the 50 millionth time. I can probably say that movie verbatim. And I'm like, this is going to be another yo-yo attempt. I don't have time to cook 14 meals on a Sunday. I was losing family time. I still had no energy. I knew it was the right thing to do, but I didn't know what to do. And then I'm on Facebook, and my annoyingly best friend, every day I'd wake up in the morning and there she is posting a selfie of her like sports watch showing she's burning 500 calories in the morning before she goes to work. And then she goes to work and taking her kids to dance. And I'm like, what is she doing? I hate her. Right. She's so stressed me out. I'm like, how is she mom lifing it better than me? Right. Yeah. So I called her, and that's when I discovered isogenics, because she's like, it's isogenics. Right. And I'm like, not another thing. And sure enough, we did some research and we found out it wasn't a thing. And thank God for that 30-day money back guarantee, because that's what allowed me to hop on with my husband.
So, and I got to see him too. He's had some pretty great results as well.
Yes. He released over 65 pounds.
Wow.
Yeah. He's amazing.
And your total weight loss now is how much?
90.
But then you've put on some good lean muscle too since I first met you.
The 90-pound weight loss is with the lean muscle. I think if I had to build lean muscle, I probably would have been 100-pound club, but I'm choosing what I did.
Yeah. Well, you look fabulous, and I love watching all your working out and all your activities. Last time I saw you was not too long. Oh, Philadelphia ICU. I don't know that you could see me. I was working out in the gym, and you were in the pool with your son swimming, and I was like right there trying to catch your attention. And I don't know that you ever saw me, but I watched you, and it was so neat to see how active you were, because I remember you saying you that was one thing that you really wanted, was to be able to play with your kids.
Yeah, like I have so much energy now from what I've done with isogenics that they can't keep up with me. Like, it was 5 o'clock in the morning, and I'm like, hey buddy, you want to go swimming? And of course he's like, yeah. I knew I couldn't keep his attention in the gym, so the only way for me to actually get my heart rate up that morning was bring him in there. And
all right, so everyone watching this does isogenics as a business. We are a huge team of IsaBody people. Whether there's a contest promoting IsaBody or not, we tell everybody to join an IsaBody challenge. What was it like for you when they called your name and you were the winner of $25,000? I mean, I get goosebumps asking you that question.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. And I know I'm saying this out loud, and it probably sounds very crazy, but I knew I was going to win, because that was the only reality I would allow me to think of, right? And when people say, put on your vision board and manifest what you want, I did. Like, I would envision Kathy calling my name all the time. Like, I just, when I wanted a finalist, I got the finalists. I'm like, okay, as soon as they called me finalist, I'm like, that's it. I'm going to be the grand prize winner. And just like with anything in your life, that's what, like, my vision board, it's on the floor right now, it's missing, but I had it on my vision board, and I would play the outcome. But I will tell you, before stage, I separated myself, and I was like, harnessing this energy in me, right? I'm like, this is it. My poor husband was like, what if you lose? I'm like, I don't prepare to lose. I wasn't ready. And when Kathy called my name, I was in such disbelief. Even though I had seen it in my head, it hit me so hard that I went, I don't know if you saw the clip, but I went on the ground. That's why they picked me up. Because all of a sudden, it was like I was harnessing my own energy, and I sucked the whole energy of the whole convention in me in that moment. And I was like, oh, it happened.
That is so great. That's my favorite pictures when they lifted you up and
Oh, man.
oh, and Alvy, like Alvy's just one of my besties. I just absolutely love
Oh,
it. So,
man, he's got a heart of
oh,
gold.
well, that was a dream to be part of that whole thing. So, what I want you to do is share with everybody, how. First of all, you're a master connector. How do you connect with people, get them started, and how is IsaBody part of how you're growing your business?
Yeah. Wow, that's a loaded questions because that's
I
a lot of
know.
people. Yeah. So connecting, I love connecting with people, mostly because I just love people.
Hmm.
And I put myself in a lot of positions where I'm around people. So I work from home right now. So I go to Starbucks in the evening to work isogenics,
Hmm.
and I'm sitting beside people. There's people on computers doing stuff, and sometimes they have their headphones on. And I'm okay with interrupting people and what they're doing because sometimes people just need a friendly hello, right?
Hmm.
And I'm really good at saying hello. And I think that is, people forget that's the most basic part of connecting.
Right.
And, how are you? What are you working on? Looks interesting. I don't mean to be nosy. I love your shoes. Oh my God, where did you get that jacket? If there's a mom and the kid is freaking out, I like put my hand on her shoulder. I'm like, what do you need? you know, and so it's just a matter of really genuinely wanting to be a part of that person's moment,
Yeah.
right? And what are they doing? And I'm really good at that. And then once I come, the whole form, where are you from? What do you do? What brought you here? What are you doing this weekend? And things like that. And so I've been really good at that. So I have a collection. I tell everybody when they ask what I do, is sometimes like I'm a professional friend maker, right?
Yeah.
And so that's what I do is I connect with a lot of people. Once I connect with them, they might ask me, because a lot of them reciprocate a lot of the questions I ask.
Sure.
And when they ask me what do I do, and I'll be like, I work for an automotive company full time, but my real passion is what I do in my health and wellness company. And they're like, oh, what's that? I'm like, well, I help people open up virtual franchises in my health and wellness company. Basically, what I do is I help a lot of people help a lot of people. And that's my line, right? And they're like, oh, interesting. I'm like, yeah. I'm like, you know what? Just from our conversation, you're probably really great at it, or you might know somebody who might be interested. I'm always looking to interview entrepreneurs. And so they're like, oh yeah, sure. So I'm like, here, I don't want to disturb you right now. We got stuff to do. I'm busy, or, the whole, I got to go. And I get their number on my phone. I screenshot it. I put their name. I make them put their name and number on my phone. And then when they give it to me under the company, I put ISA prospect.
Mm.
Right? And I screenshot it. If I can get them on Facebook, I screenshot their names to always remember. And then what I do is I go into my ISA tools and I link them to my ISA tools. So in ISA tools, when you put a new contact on your phone, you have to link it to contacts there. And then I'll send them a hey. Sometimes I send them a selfie, and then I start the conversation from there. And my first thing with them is finding out what their goals are. And then once I know what their goals are in my conversation with them, I send them a tool in ISA tools, usually one of my presentations I created. And from there, then I put them to a 3-way call with somebody in my upline or sideline or whoever I feel is, probably for that person. And then I enroll them. And when you asked about IsaBody, most of my people think IsaBody is part of the box. It's like they don't think that it's optional.
Yeah.
Right? So I'm literally taking their information for their order. And I always say, listen, as soon as I'm going to text you your username and log on. And as soon as you get that, I need you to go in and upload your pictures. They're like, what? I'm like, I know it's crazy, but just do it, right? It's like, you have to do it. They almost think they have to do it to their box. And I tell them to download the app called Timestamp. So that way they don't have to use a newspaper. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, listen, you have to do it before midnight tonight. And they're like, what, before midnight? I've had people do it at like 11:30. Because if you guys don't know, the BV towards your challenge, right? If they enroll in IsaBody the day after their order's processed, that BV doesn't count.
Yeah.
And I want that BV to count for them, right? So I always tell them, some of them I make them understand a little bit. I just say, listen, this will help you towards your challenge, acceptance. And so I make them do that. And, most do it. Some other like, oh my God, I didn't do it. Is it still okay? I'm like, that's okay. Just do it today.
Yeah. Yeah. I do the same exact thing. I think when people understand it's 500 BV over 16 weeks and that first order is like a third of it or more, it's like a no-brainer, and they'll stay on the program. And, for me, I love to see, I've had a couple finalists on our team, but, Bob Duncan, he's one of our finalists, and I love that. I've had some honorable mentions. Our John Stankiewicz just got an honorable mention. So we've had some of that. Wouldn't I love one of our team members to earn that? I mean, to be a grand prize winner. I mean, fabulous. So I love that. But to me, it's like, it's just an easy $600 of free products a year. You want everybody to get it.
Yeah. And I use it as an accountability tool. And to be honest, I don't even use the grand prize winner thing as, I just tell them, I'm like, listen, I usually ask them on a scale of 1 to 10 how committed they are, and depending, I usually, hopefully they're between 8 and 10. I'm like, this is what's going to keep you accountable, because it's going to suck, right? And you need a timeline. So let's just focus on the first 16 weeks, right? And 30 days system at a time, and then we'll just go there. I really use the ISA body to vision cast. So especially if they're on a health journey, it might be, for example, I had a mom said that she just wanted to run a mile, right? And I'm like, okay, let's go on to this app. There's a run app, and I can't remember, it's called Active or something. I said, go book a 5K for the end of the 16 weeks. She's like, what, a 5K? I'm like, you're gonna do a 5K? I'm like, you're gonna do one. So I made her, and I made her see herself cross that finish line in 16 weeks, right? Because I didn't care about the scale for her. I wanted to put her in the life that she wanted for herself, right? And so it's really important to show the people what's gonna happen for them at the end of the 16 weeks. Outside.
That's fabulous. Okay, so I want to spend the last part of this call talking about ISA tools, because I've watched probably every video that you've done training on this, and I can't say I've mastered it yet, but I know you put together presentations. So if you could just share with everybody what you do, what you're doing, why you're doing it, and then where they can find the training, that would be awesome.
Oh my God, yeah. I'll be honest, I'm a systems and process kind of girl, and it needs to be simple for me because I'm very busy. And ISA Tools has helped me. Everyone's like, what video do I send? How do I send it? Where do I get it? And then the one thing I love is follow-up has always been an issue for me. So I'm just going to share my screen. Yep. Follow-up's always been an issue for me, and ISA Tools really helps me with the follow-up. And the reason why is that, number one, it tells me when somebody's watched a video, and that's super important. So this is, you can see my screen right now?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay, great. So in the ISA Tools, I usually use the app more, but I'm going to show you guys a little bit about the presentations on the computer, because the PC does a lot more than the app does when it comes to creating. But you can see here, and I'm not very good at the follow-up on this part on the screen. I've had, these are some people that I've made contact with, and it's telling me, have you made contact with them? And of course I have. So I just click it, and I have contacted these people. I just don't use this part of it. And you just click it and just say, okay, yeah, I've contacted these people again. What I use instead of this to do is on the app, there is called a feed. And you can see from there. And from there, I use my feed to know who to contact, right? And what I love most about it is when somebody watches the video like 20 times. Right? And I'm like, ooh, they're super interested in, and they keep watching it. So I call those people and say, hey, how's it going?
I've seen you watched my video 20 times.
Yeah, well, I don't say that, but I know that they'll be like, oh, I was just thinking about you. And I'm like, oh, really? Right? So under prospecting, if you go under digital media, I really utilize the presentations more than anything. Plus I use the email drips, but the presentations is the one thing I use the most. I have a lot on here, but I'm just going to go back to a few of them that I use the most. And all I do is I create a presentation. And if you want to learn how to create a presentation, if you go into ISA Tools under training, there's actually my videos there on how to do this from start to finish. So if I'm prospecting, a woman who's got some health issues, right? I use this video right here, and I wonder if I can just show the presentation real quick. And so in here, I use Transform Your Life video. Love that one. And I use 3 Women, 3 Stories, 1 Incredible. I'll be honest.
Before Isogenics,
I use that one because, let's be honest, I'm in it. So I picked that one for that. And then I have the clinical research here, because for me that's important. I want them to know you know, a little bit about the products, some stories, and then I want them to understand that this is a little bit of validation for Isogenics. So I like to send that presentation out to a lot of the women I use. And then, you know, if they're looking for wealth creation, you know, I made a presentation in here, and that's got, you know, experience Isogenics disappeared. I got to find out what's going on here. I'll put enterprising women. I deal with a lot more women than anything. I'll put Ben Kelly's story in, Laura Stevens' story in there. And I send those out for people who are looking at more of the opportunity. So what I did is I created presentations for a certain demographic of person and what their goals are. I have a start one. So if I have a start member, I send them that video. I also send them the startyourlife.com. And then, so that's kind of how I deal with when I make that connection. When I know what they're looking for, I know what to send them the right tool. And I'm just sending them one link to multiple videos instead of sending them, because what I was finding, I was sending people like 3 different links, and it's a little overwhelming. Mm-hmm. Right? And I thought this was just, and I'm finding it's proven to be really great for me. One of the things that I love too is I also use this for my new customers. So I've shortened my open box call tremendously by this presentation, and it's called Start Here for Success. And in this one, it is basically the product overview of the value pack, how to do a shake day, how to do a cleanse day, share, repeat, and then my ISA body is missing from here too. I gotta figure out what's going on here. I have the information on how to register for ISA body. Kind of weird what's happening here. There's a glitch. So I send that to them. So as soon as they say, hey, my box is here, I'm like, awesome. Take a look at this link, watch all the videos, and let's talk tomorrow. I said, but don't wait to start. You have all the information on this link. And in that way, when I get on the open box call, I'm more just answering their questions instead of telling them what to do.
That's fabulous. All right. So I just want to reiterate this for people that are maybe newer to the app or don't use it yet. When you have the app, and you guys probably can't see what I'm doing, but if you scroll up and down here, there's, you know, you can send messages, you can send PDFs, there's web pages, there's social media images, there's videos, and then there is a section that says presentations. So these presentations are the ones that are coming from where you're building them online, yep. Correct?
Yep, and you can go in and create your own. So like I said, the video shows you step by step, but it's super easy. You just create a presentation and go, right? And you just pick the ones that you want to show. And you might have, like I have 5 or 6 different presentations that I use depending on the person I'm speaking to.
And you can also send them through the computer as well if you're working on the computer.
Yeah, like if I wanted to send one to somebody, I would just click here and I would Facebook email them. I always use the app to send them. I don't send them through the computer because I love the app.
Yeah.
But in the app, I go in and that's how I send them. Because I take everybody off Facebook. I take everybody off email and Instagram, and I go to text message with everybody.
Yeah. And honestly, I do a lot of learning from Eric Worre, and that's what he recommends too. He said everyone opens up their text messages. So at least that's, you know, the safest thing. Okay. Tell them again where they can find your training, ISA.
Yep. So if you go into the ISA tools, mm-hmm. and you actually go into the training, I don't know if it's actually on the computer or I know on the app. When you go into the app, if you go under training, if there was a couple of videos there, you'll see how to create a presentation. I also have how to do email drips and email scripts in there as well. I really, it's so much better when you have like leverage when it comes to systems. You know, the ISA tools does a lot of work for me, which is really great.
Yeah, and I honestly don't utilize it enough. So this is definitely getting me excited because I'm sitting here. I see the ISA tools training is on here as well. I think this could be a big time saver. We do have a lot of people that have full-time jobs and other responsibilities. And I think this could be something that could be a great effective way to run your business and be duplicatable. I know we're attracting a lot of young people now. My son's doing this full time with me now too, and they do a lot with ISA tools and sending text messages. So that's fabulous.
It is, and like right here, like in the email scripts, when I have a big promo, I actually put it as a script and then I just fire it off to everybody through ISA tools. Right?
That's great. That's great. Awesome. Awesome. Well, so if you guys want a little more of Helen, plus I think you're on YouTube. I think I've just looked for your training videos and I found you on YouTube doing them.
Yeah. Yeah. There's, I have a YouTube channel. It's actually No More Excuses for This Mama. And then there's the all the trainings for ISA tools. There's a bunch of workouts in there. Probably me talking about prep. There's lots of
Another thing I love about you, you're so abundant putting your training out there and sharing with everyone. And certainly I'll be sharing this with not only my team, but it'll be on my YouTube station for other people to see as well. And really the only thing that's changed about you, besides your bank account since I've met you, is your hair. I love your new hairstyle.
Oh, yeah. I literally went to my hairdresser who knows me personally and said, listen, just do me. Like I gave him carte blanche and like rock star. I'm like, that's it. That's me.
That's great. That's great. Well, I love you. What's next for you? Where do you go after ISA Body Champion? Where do you go next?
Isogenics Millionaire is,
okay.
You know, that's the next. I'm really putting a lot of focus on, you know, helping other people out. And, you know, I changed a lot of my focus. When you get to the ISA Body part, your focus is a lot on your body. And that's where I put a lot of focus in 4 years. And one of the things that I'm starting to learn is, you know, I was in linear income with my business and now I'm looking for more leverage. And then I realized, and just a quick story before we end, what the income did for me. My husband was off work for 6 months, and if it wasn't for Isogenics, we'd be in trouble. And I did not appreciate the income I had with Isogenics because we both have full-time jobs. It was just fun money. And then it became a plan B. And so I'm so passionate now about showing families a plan B because I don't know what I would have done, you know, at the end of last year if we hadn't had this.
Yeah, honestly, and it's a plan B that turns into a plan A for a lot of people, and it's beautiful. And then you have that time freedom to spend with your families and do what you want to do and travel and and really impact people. So it's such a beautiful thing. Well, if you use the same techniques you did to become the winner of the ISA Body Challenge and you visualize millionaire, you do the same thing, the same mindset stuff, it will happen for you, I'm sure.
That's so important, Cindy. That's so important. Yes.
Well, I love you. Thank you for sharing with my team today. Mwah. And I'll see you in Nashville.
Yes, you will.
Thanks so much, Helen.